G'day everybody and welcome back. So we've got a bit of a mission on this time. All these parts here are out of a Sheridan Lathe and it had a malfunction when it was being unloaded. What happened supposedly was they lifted it up with a set of forks and it spun on well, obviously twisted. It's come around and I believe the handles hit the mast of the machine. And yeah, it's done it quite a bit of damage really. So this piece here that screws into the cross slide, it actually smashed that off. Being cast iron, it probably broke pretty easy. Broke it off here. I've just super glued that threaded end back on so I can get the measurements and everything. It bent the lead screw enough that it wouldn't come out, that we had to grind the end down to get it off or get it out. Broke the end of this lead screw off completely. It actually cracked the cast housing for the nut. So that was, yeah, it must have had a fair whack. The only thing it survived was a graduation wheel. So we don't have to make a new one of those, thankfully. But the handle's got a bend in it. I'm not going to worry about that. It can just stay as it is. So we've got to make these three component or four with a nut. So the thread is a 5/8 10 TPI left-hand Acme. So luckily enough, I managed to pick up a tap off AliExpress. Don't know what the quality's like, but see how it goes. And I ordered a Acme insert to do the thread. This is cast iron, that's cast iron. I do have a piece of cast iron I may be able to make this out of again, or otherwise it'll be steel with a bronze insert. At this stage, this is cast, this will be steel. I'm not going to, cast iron's too expensive to buy to make a cast one. Steel's going to do the same job. Yeah, so we've got a bit of a mission to make this. So yeah, try and get it as good as I can anyway. So I hope you enjoy this one. Okay, so I've found a victim to build this out of. Start on this bit first. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of material to remove off this. So using a TNMG, biggest diameter 75. This is about 70, just under 77. It's not a crucial dimension, this biggest one. So it's 75.78. Take that straight down to 75. And we don't want vibration like that. It's cleaned up enough for now. I'll work on bulking this section out now. I can do the final pass on that later. We've got awesome chip control straight off the bat. For a length of 78.7, has to come down to 38mm. I'll have a fiddle around with some speeds and feeds off camera and try and get a chip breaking, and then we should be right to go. Rightio, that's down to 40mm and it's to the correct length. This does have to have another diameter turn down for the 1¼ thread. Rightio, I'll start knocking this down to 1¼ an inch long. .74. I've got to put a relief at the end and then thread it, and then it has to have another relief put in the guts of it. So what I was meaning then is, see, it's got to have 2 reliefs put in it. So I may just thread it first and then put the relief in after, or put the relief in now, I could, and then just thread it. But I'm going to have to change over centres so I get a little bit more room to play with. This one will give me a bit more room for the threading tool, I think, and I've just got to chamfer that edge. Okay, this relief has to go down to a diameter of 28.5. Okay, there's the 2 reliefs. Now I've just got to thread the 1¼ 12 TPI thread on there. So I just change them centres over, and you can see the difference in room I've got between that and the between this old one and the Daintree. It just gives me a bit more room to play with the threading tool. I don't have a test piece, so I'm just going to do it to where I think is right and looks right, and hope for the best. And the oil pot's empty. Always empty. Okay, we're going to leave that thread right where it is, but I will run a bit of Scotch-Brite over it and just feather up a little bit, and we're good to go. I know what I need to do is bring that down to 38 and just make it a nice finish on there. I think that's a touch over 75, yeah, it's 1/2 mil up. So just clean up these diameters, and then I've got to put a bore through it. run a bit of Scotch-Brite over that, and that'll be plenty good enough. Got a nice shiny finish on that side. I might just have to take another cut here to get it to look the same. That'll do the outside. Bit of Scotch-Brite on that, it'll pretty it up. Okay, it's time to open this bore up. The overall length of this part is 90mm. I'm going to drill probably 120 deep. Bore it then, hopefully. I can fit a boring bar up in there, bore it out, and then I've just got to make up some bronze bushes for it. Okay, I'm going to drill this out to 5/8 now. Something's not right there. Obviously that drill is not sharpened correctly. Useless I am. So what my plan is here, I haven't filmed a lot of this because it's a lot of stick out on this carbide bar, and I'm going to run the 3/4 reamer up it. Well, I haven't given that back to me mate yet. That'll be a good thing. .6. .6, so it's running parallel. So this is going to have 2 bronze bushes put in each end, the same as the original one was. They're not recessed into a shoulder, they're just a press fit in each end, that's it. So I might not worry about running with the ream. I'll just keep going out to about 20mm, and that'll give the bush a bit more sidewall on that 5/8 bush, because the original one's got about a 20mm bore in it. So I'm trying to get it as close as I can to the same as what the original was. So the DRO was set for 20mm, 19.99. Exactly the same. So it's actually cut straight. I'm surprised with that much stick out. There's 100mm of stick out there. So that's at 20mm. I'm going to leave it right where it is. I've got to chamfer it, and then I've got to part it off, which will be interesting. I parted off pretty clean. Pretty happy with that. Well, let's tidy all this mess up, and I've had a gutful today, and we'll come back to it tomorrow, because tomorrow's another day. Righto, it's time to face all this off, bring it back to 11mm. We're at 15.5 now. That should be 12mm. So 11.99, which is exactly what the DRO is saying there. We got to be 11. So I'm going to take that last millimetre in one hit, because it does leave a nice finish. And that's it. It does have to have a relief putting in here in the center there somewhere, which I'll show you on the original. That's it. So the original has this relief in it where the graduator wheel bumps up against. Yeah, I'm just going to put this relief in. It's about 10mm wide. It doesn't have to look much special, really, but that looks pretty much similar. Just run a bit of Scotch-Brite. It did raise a tiny little burr on that. Chamfer that edge and work out how I'm going to hold these bearings in the middle, these bronze bearings. I know there's no load on them, and they were just a press fit on the old one, but I don't know whether I should make a little recess for them to sit in first. I don't know. Okay, off camera. You see there's two bronze bushes. There's no recess for them to fit into, they just press in. I scrounged around all the bits of bronze, old short bits, so one's longer than the other, which you can see. Where do I put it? Yeah, that one there's. Yeah, I actually managed to get a bit of a longer one out of this. So I built these off camera because I didn't know whether I was going to have enough for them to. You see marks are there, only just cleaned up. But these are going to press in. Yeah, they'll press in there. And they're 9/16 in the centre, a fraction over. So there's a very tiny bit of crush on these bronze bushes. They'll press into there quite nice. And then that piece is complete. Okay, so the piece of bronze I'm going to use to make the nut. When I made this handle, this bronze handle, that was cast for me by a fellow in Western Australia, by a viewer, he sent over the sprue that come, well, when he cast that handle, this was the sprue that come off it. It's cleaning up real nice, and I reckon I'll get the nut out of that. So I'm just going to spin it around, clean it up, and then bore it, and then I'll thread it with the tap. Hopefully it doesn't slip in the chuck, and then machine it down to the final size. Just leave as much meat as I can while I'm tapping it. Rightio, I've been on the internet to work out the drill tap size to do this thread, this Acme thread. It's got to be, from what I can work out, which I'm not very good at maths and anything like that. There is an equation for it, and what I worked out was 0.535, 535 thou. This has to be bored out to, and then I can thread it. If I screw this up, I'll have to try and find another piece of bronze somewhere. Right, yeah, I've done it just to clean up, pass down the guts of that, and like I say, I got about 525. We are at 489. Okay, I've got that board out. I've got to put a lead in chamfer on it, and then I will attempt, I stress that word, attempt to tap it. You're right to get that started. Just got to remember it's left hand, got to remember to wind it the right way. Righto, got this started, or we're getting it started. Hopefully all this goes well. Just got to remember to keep winding it the right way. It's a big long tapered tap too, so easy at the start. Probably going to get crap towards the end. That's it. We are as good as through. Yep. Back it all the way out here. There we go, that tap worked a treat by the look of that. And I'm going to be making the lead screw single point threading it, so everything should work out well. That tap was one off AliExpress. So what I'll do now, I'll machine this down to the final dimension, and then I know the outside is concentric with the inside. You just got to part it to length. I'll probably put it in a collet and best bring it to length, because once this is down to dimension it can come out then, it's not going to hurt. That's a nice bit of bronze. Got to make this 22.225. That is reading 23.01. Shooting for 22.22, we got 22.23. Okay, off camera I will bring that to length, and that's the nut finished, all bar when it goes into the main, or into the little block that this go, I've scotch keyed into the block. The same as the original was. Make a new one of those probably next.